Oh God, how exciting! We're live. It's all happening. Anyway, it's this might be the most random thing I might have done in a live video. By the way, it's December 1st. It is World AIDS Day. Um, and what was the statement that let's see, top chat. What is our okay, close. Okay, great. Comments are on. What was the statement from the White House about how they were treating World AIDS Day? All I remember is that it's anything to be a dick, and that was the memo. So let's not acknowledge World AIDS Day. No messaging coming out of the White House about World AIDS Day, and it just goes squarely into the, suck it category. Anyway, it is World AIDS Day, December 1st, as it's been for every December 1st for many, many years. I posted about this on Instagram today to mark the day. I had a friend I met when I was 21, 22. He was older, and his name was Brian Campbell. And I mean, I'm gonna direct you to the Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, it's in my feed today. And Brian was this amazing man. He was the most beautiful man I'd ever seen up to that point, and still the most beautiful man I think I've ever seen up close since. And so he was a friend, and we had a relationship, a close one, and then he died within a year of meeting him, within 9 or 10 months of meeting him. And yeah, I'm still so kind of not over it, really. And I years later, only a couple years ago actually, got connected to his son, his two sons. They were both 5 years old and 3 years old when he died. And yeah, somebody, an AIDS organization reposted something that I posted on Instagram, and he saw it and reached out to me on Instagram, his son, Brian's son. And we've been in touch ever since. And there's so much that he did not know about his father's life, stuff that was never told to him. Anyway, profound stuff. I don't want to dig too deeply into it right now. I'll just leave it at it is World AIDS Day. There was a time when AIDS was going to touch or hadn't touched like almost every life, really. And it's a different time now. We have drugs that prevent the spread of HIV. We have people who are living with HIV, and it's not a death sentence the way that it used to be. Now it's this manageable thing. Anyway, it's a very different time. It was not the case in 1993, 92 when I met Brian Campbell, and then 93 when he died. So anyway, World AIDS Day. It's a Monday. I'm just kind of touching base with all my live communities. I also do this live on Patreon where I have some very nice subscribers. And oh God, Bette Midler turned 80 years old. Can you believe it? That is crazy. And let's see. I can't. It's so hard to look at social media now and not just say, God, everything is horrible. Like this administration, this president, it's all fucking horrible, but whatever. But anyway, I was very hungry, and I have something in my freezer that every guy should have. I am, let's just say, vegan adjacent. I'm not a big meat eater at all. But I think just in case, a guy should have two things in his freezer. One is a frozen margarita pizza. It's a cheap trick, but it comes in handy. Trust me. And the other is a box of frozen Hebrew National pigs in a blanket and some stadium mustard in the freezer. Look at that. I just cooked about 8. You preheat the oven to 400 degrees, and then you put these on some parchment paper on a cookie sheet and bake them for 20 minutes, 22 minutes, and stadium mustard. And I'm having a snack, and I'm going to do it right in front of you because I'm so goddamn hungry and I don't really care. You know, they have these at the Polo Bar. Someone in the comments said, tell me you're from Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland. God, these are so good. Meg Mulholland says it works for that. Yeah. Just keep a box of Hebrew National Pigs in the Blanket. When you need a quick snack, you will thank me later. And a frozen pizza, a good one. Like, you know what? Surprisingly, what? Oh, notifications. California Pizza Kitchen makes really good frozen margarita pizza. I love a margarita pizza. And California Pizza Kitchen kind of crushes it. Yeah. So I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces up in here, little familiar names. Jenny, am I supposed to have a commercial during a live? I don't know. Are you getting a commercial? God, these taste good. I'm kind of doing a commercial for Hebrew National in hopes. I'm kind of doing a commercial for Hebrew National in hopes that they send me some. Yeah. Oh, these are good. And when you get the mustard, I mean, you can use Grey Poupon mustard, fine, whatever, but just go basic, like Golden Stadium mustard. Oh, God. So wait, you guys are getting commercials in the middle of this live for other stuff that is not, I mean, I know I monetize these videos, but my God, how interesting. I did not know this. I did not know this. You just got one. That's amazing. All right. Well, these are good. I'm sorry to make these look so good, but pigs in a blanket, come on. Very satisfying. I was hungry. And then for a proper dinner, I'm probably just going to have a salad, a light salad. Like this will do it for me. What else? That's really kind of all I'm thinking of for you guys. Like, dude, I use an air fryer. I think apparently an air fryer is the preferred method to make these. I just use a regular oven. I do not have an air fryer, but air fryer is the preferred method according to Hebrew National. So I'm sorry to be eating on the microphone. That's so rude. But I was famished, you guys. Daddy was hungry. Oh, God. This is so crazy. And I also bought these at Zabar's. I think I bought the Hebrew National things at Zabar's too. I needed these little ramekins for the mustard. And so I bought 4 of them. In case I have guests, which never happens. Did Lenore get a stray pigs in a blanket? She would love that, but no. Let's see. Any chance you can tell me something that will stop me from drinking right now? Really? I can't. No one can stop you from drinking. Only you can stop you from drinking. But I'll tell you this: if you are having an issue with drinking, you will never not drink and wish you had. However, if you do drink and you're trying not to drink, you will wish you hadn't. But it never happens the other way around. And if you're experiencing a feeling or something that makes you feel uncomfortable, that makes you want to drink, understand that that feeling will change. Everything is temporary, including I had to remember that hardcore when I quit. I've been sober. I haven't had a drink in almost 24 years, 23 and some change. In February, it'll be 4 years off cigarettes. And I'm telling you, that physically was harder. And I really just had to remember again, like when I was confronted with the temptation of going to buy a pack of cigarettes, and I would say, if I don't get these cigarettes right now, if I don't get these cigarettes right now, I'm going to go through a really it's really like white knuckling it, but not white knuckling it. I have friends in the program and, I have connections and people I can talk to. I knew though that if I did have the cigarette, I would feel like the original asshole. If I did, I know that feeling because I tried to quit smoking for years. And every time I caved at the cigarette, I felt like a loser. Doesn't mean you are a loser because you have to fail. Sometimes you have to fail to succeed. It's part of the process for a lot of people, myself included. So you do not have to drink. If you don't want to drink, you don't have to drink. How about that? Let's see. In the Cleveland West Side, do you still have family in Cleveland? Yes, I do. I grew up in Lakewood. And then I lived in downtown Cleveland from 2017. I got to go soon. From 2017 to 2019 for 2 years. Great apartment. My God. The only constant is change. Let's see. Thank you regarding your drinking answer so much. You're welcome. Dinner at the diner. You don't have to drink. If you don't want to drink, you do not have to drink. You don't have to do it alone. If you need to find it, go to a meeting. Craig Ferguson said in his recent podcast that if cigarettes didn't cause cancer, he would definitely go back to smoking. I was on Craig's podcast. 100%. If cigarettes weren't bad for me, I would smoke again tonight. I'd go get a pack. I loved every cigarette I ever had. Well, almost. Yeah. So anyway, I am so glad we had this time together. What's this been? 13 and a half minutes. Thank you for indulging me and observing me eat 8 pigs in a blanket. I'm not a food snob, Meg Mulholland. I'm not a foodie. I'm an enjoyer of food. I love a diner. I love a dirty diner omelet with like undercooked or overcooked fries. And I also like going to the Polo Bar or to be a guest at San Vicente Bungalows with a friend. Like I'm down for whatever. I don't really care. Cigarettes, they smell up your clothes. Well, there was a time in our culture where the smell of cigarettes was not as much of a bother to people because so many people smoked and you just kind of accepted it. Like I accepted the smell of cigarettes in my grandparents' apartment when I was a little kid. I remember that. I remember the smell of cigarettes in the lobby of their apartment building. I remember it in Grandpa's car, my mother's car. But it was what we were used to. And so you didn't really think about it. And you like the smell of cigarettes and your hairspray and your perfume or cologne was part of that potpourri of what we smelled like when we went out. Now, different story. We've kind of evolved out of it. So Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. I really appreciate the company, and let's talk again soon.